Hi everybody, John Cena here and welcome to the final of FunKquest Tag Team Challenge, and we have two teams of two Funksters on the show today. And if you're new to the show, what happens is that we will take it in turns to answer funky questions. If you are looking at my screen, you will see 5 questions, 4 rows, and the icon reveals a question which may or may not be related to that icon. So, question of a leopard will be some question about oil rigs or something like that. So let's jump in and meet the orange team. Head Funkster Barb, who are you and who is on your team?
I'm an author and a podcaster and a housewife, and I have Phil Pelucha on my team who does everything well.
Including, is he a housewife?
I'm a wonderful housewife.
I feel like I think he'd be a very good housewife, yeah.
Head Funkster Anne, tell us who you are and who you've got on your team.
I'm Anne Smith from Barrie, Ontario, Canada. I'm an actress by trade and a metal detectorist by hobby. And with me is Leana Delle, who is a wonderful authoress and a podcaster from Scroggins, Texas, who is also a childhood friend of mine.
I'm going to say, Barb, you can go first. So pick an icon and I'll decide which of you two is going to answer it.
Okay. Going with the toes.
The what? The ballerina toes. That's got to be Phil. Phil, he's good at everything. He'll be good at ballet. So
hey, ballet. Here we go.
Yeah. What job would an octopus be good at?
An octopus would make an amazing chef.
Yes.
Wouldn't it? I mean, you think about how busy their hands have got to be. In fact, we were talking about Gordon Ramsay just before this, before we went live. And yeah, I reckon an octopus would make an amazing chef, just like arm stirring. Reminds me a lot of my wife when she's angry in the kitchen. There's just knives and stuff just flying around. Like, I swear she's got more than 2 arms at that point.
I just wonder how an octopus controls what arm's doing what.
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
I mean,
like kind of throwing a numb arm at someone. Like, I don't know.
I mean, my thing is always, okay, that person's really, really clever, but can they make beans on toast and a cup of tea all to be ready at the same time? Right?
That's a challenge.
Could an octopus do that, you think?
I reckon so. I mean, it's a strange thing to think about, but I definitely think that an octopus could make... Yeah, because it's a timing, right, isn't it? And then even if you get it wrong and they go over the time, they can just squirt ink at you and make you forget.
Question 1, Head Funkster Anne.
I know that's not Stevie Wonder, but he's one of my favorites, so I would like the audio recording guy.
Do you play guitar, Anne?
I do not. I have tried to play guitar, but I have tiny little girly fingers, so it doesn't work.
I know Leana plays guitar and sings, so she's going to get this question.
Oh,
very good.
Pressure. Let's bring it.
Well, there you go. What are you embarrassed about being good at?
Being good at. I don't know if I'm embarrassed, but I'm a really good handy woman. Person. I can. Yeah, I mean, I have a toolbox. I do all kinds of stuff around here. I'm right in there, something comes in the mail.
You done shelves and all that stuff?
Shelves, I put up shelves. Yep, do it all. Yep. Yeah.
What's the most powerful tool, what you've got? What makes the biggest noise?
I have a reciprocating saw.
What's one of them?
And I love that thing, man.
What's one of them?
Yeah, it's awesome. So I guess I'm not real. I'm embarrassed sometimes only because, I don't know.
Maybe. No, embarrassed about being on FunKquest.
No, not embarrassed about being on FunKquest. No, it's just, I don't know if I'm embarrassed at being a handy person, but sometimes when, when you're in a group of guys and you say you're going to fix it, I get the, oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Are you sure now? Are you sure you don't want me to? No.
I'm just imagining you marching to the DIY store and saying, I want this, and this, and this.
Oh, I love hardware stores. Don't even get me started.
Question 2, Barb.
The dancing clothespins. I think they're dancing. Kind of rocket style. Yeah.
Where did you last wish you were somewhere else?
Last night.
Okay.
I hope he's not listening.
No. Okay, wow. That could have gotten taken that way. No, not what I was intending. No, I was thinking last night, it's been a weekend of conflict. I'm not a huge fan of conflict. And I have sort of a mental escape hatch. And I picture I'm going to sound insane by the end of this. Yeah, I picture totally different places, and it's a way of coping with conflict. So,
so tell us
incidentally,
about this mental escape hatch then. How does
yeah, so mine at the moment looks like something I've never actually been to, but it looks like a Chicago brownstone in winter, and there's a lot of shoes in the apartment, and I'm totally by myself, and there's hardwood floors, so all the shoes make nice sounds, and I have a stack of books.
Excellent. And you just
hang out there
switch that
in my
on
mind.
like you wish you were there. Is that like that how it works?
Yeah, like, did you ever watch the Sherlock episode? He talks about his mind palace. My mind palace has more shoes than his, but it's basically mentally, I'm just going to go elsewhere for a bit. I'll be back. See you soon.
Excellent. Question 2, Anne, when it comes on.
Yeah, I like the photobombing horse on the beach.
How much water do you drink?
How much water do I drink? Okay, well, it depends on whether I'm swimming or not.
Okay.
I'm a klutz at most activities, and when I swim, I do take on quite a bit of water, but no, I know what the question means. I actually have been increasing my water intake quite a lot, and I have a little tracker, a computer program that, hey, good boy, I see you drinking, Phil. Yeah, I keep a glass of water with me all the time, and I try to get at least 8 times 8 ounces in a day. Sometimes it's way more than that. But today I'm honoring the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey team because it's wintertime and it's snowing outside, and we don't have hockey on right now because of the lockdowns. So boo. But anyway, here's to my team, and that's how I drink water.
How much is 8 ounces in pints and litres and all that stuff?
8 ounces is half a pint.
So you try to drink 8 times 8, whatever that is. 4 pints.
4 pints.
That's good. We had on the show, actually, Series 1, Kathy Weiss, world champion swimming pool karate. Do you remember that? Do you remember Kathy?
Yes.
Yeah, world champion swimming pool karate. I says, why is that? She says, well, that's what I look like when I'm swimming.
Hey.
You had me going. I thought it was a real sport.
Right,
oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Phil, you can pick question 3 and you're going to answer it.
Go for a spaceship.
Spaceship. Who have you accidentally stolen from?
Oh.
Who might be listening?
The word accidentally is difficult because when I've stolen stuff, it's been very deliberate. So I don't think I've accidentally stolen from anybody. I guess it's the joy of podcasting, right? Is that you meet all of these really awesome people, and I'm kind of a bit like a wisdom magpie. It's like I'll hear something really clever and I'll be like, oh, I'm having that. And I do that quite a lot. Yeah, it's like it works really well until you give one of the golden nuggets to the person who originally gave it to you.
Question 3. Should we get Leana to pick? Yeah, you pick. Yeah, Leana pick.
I'll pick the dress. Well, I'm learning how to draw. So I learned how to finish off my art pieces so that the charcoal and graphite and all that good stuff doesn't smear. It's not a very exciting answer. I didn't learn anything dramatic, but thing.
How do you stop charcoal from rubbing?
Well, I feel like I'm doing a sales pitch here, but a little bit of, there's a spray that you get that you spray on it. I actually sold one of my pictures this week. It's first time ever. So
wow.
I'm learning how to package them up, and I learned how to use Apple Pay, and actually there's a few things that I've learned as a result. So yeah, it was a good week for me.
Brilliant. So I'm just imagining like a big Securico wagon arriving at your house and taking this thing on like a gilded cushion.
Yes,
right?
They'd better.
Yeah, better, yeah. Question 4, Barb to pick, I think, and is it answer? Yeah, I think you're going to answer as well.
Mrs. Tiggywinkle, the hedgehog.
When was the last time you yelled at someone?
I'm not really a yeller. Does it have to be a person, or could it be like an inanimate object?
An inanimate object if you want, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Probably a couple months ago, and I think it was my steering wheel. It's just, why is it that every time I come on here, I swear I am not an unhinged person, but somehow when I come here, we only bring up either the really lame things, like I'm excited that I got my hair washed, or the really neurotic things, like I went out and sat in my car and was like, ah! So that I wouldn't do it at a person. You know, so that was probably a few months ago. And I think it was.
It does bring things out what are kind of below the surface that you wouldn't normally tell people.
Well, yeah, I guess I was hoping it would be like, remember that time last week that I cured cancer? Oh, that's right. You know, But so far it's all just, Barb needs to get out more.
Have you yelled at the crutches recently?
You don't yell at Soviets. You don't. Both of my crushes are Soviet operatives, as we view it in the house, and you don't yell at Soviets.
Boris and
Natasha.
Natasha, that's it. Shall we go to question 4? Let's ask Anne to pick. Question 4.
Are those 2 little birds there on a crosswalk?
Birds. And you're gonna.
I'll take that.
What's the most historic thing that has happened in your lifetime?
Oh, way to out me as an old person. There's plenty of things I could claim, not necessarily things that I recall myself, but plenty of things that have happened in my lifetime. The shooting of John F. Kennedy is probably the earliest. The moonwalk, the first...
Michael Jackson or the one on the moon?
Oh, no, the one on the moon, the Apollo mission.
You're right.
Yeah, and probably the most important to me presently as a good Canadian is that when I was little, the Toronto Maple Leafs actually won the Stanley Cup. And that was the last time they've done it. So I'm kind of an icon now because I was actually there watching the black and white television, not when they won it, because my parents insisted that I go to bed. So I didn't see them win it, but I was there to watch them playing. And I do remember that.
Excellent. Question 5. Barb, head funkster, you're going to pick and you're going to decide who's going to answer it when you've seen it. You could answer it, you could nominate Phil. Right, so Barb.
Oh, okay. River,
right.
This is going to make me look nuts. Go ahead, Phil.
Which animal would stay from extinction?
Is it like to bring it back, or is it like to stop one going extinct?
If you've got a good answer to bring one back, which one would you bring back?
The dodo, because it looks like a big chicken, and I really like chicken.
The dodo. Why do you think they died off?
Because they were really tasty and they were bigger than chickens. It's the same reason that when you go to the supermarket, you've only got the medium and the small ones left. Like all the large chickens have already been sold. That's why dodos are dead. You'd walk into a field, you'd be like, it's going to be loads of energy to kill an animal. I might as well kill the dodo and get 2 meals out of it. You know?
See, what I love is that when you say saved from extinction, we didn't say saved for what. Like,
I'm going to eat it.
For dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to eat it. In fact, my answer, it shows maybe I'm hungry, but my answer, if it was going to be to stop one going extinct, would have been chicken. For the same reason. Please see the same working out.
Yeah. I don't know if that was an answer to a question, but it answered something. Question 5. Anne, you can do the same. You can decide to answer it, or you can flick it at Leana.
Well, you know me well enough, Jonathan, that I'm going to pick the Hollywood side.
Yeah. So you got a couple of seconds and you might have to answer it or you might have to lob it over. You're going to take this, aren't you? Which book have you read more than 5 times?
Oh, I'd love to answer this, but I'm going to give it to Leana.
Goodness, that's a tough. I honestly don't think I've read anything 5 times, maybe 4. What would I say? Actually, I will say Wally Lamb's book. I know this much is true. That's the one that I.
Wally Lamb. What's that?
He writes these really incredible cerebral type novels that I just absolutely love. In fact, he's the only author who I have every hardcover of his books. Every time they come out, and they come out once every maybe 5 or 6 years, maybe even 7. And before I started writing, I used to think, what is taking him so long? How can it possibly take that long to write a book and get it out? And then I started writing and I went, oh.
You have to do stupid stuff like going on podcasts all the time, don't you? And all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So anything of his, I've read several times.
Wally Lamb.
Yeah, Wally Lamb.
Excellent. Well, that's the end of the show. And who won? Now, one of these teams is going to be crowned the Champion Funkster Tag Team. And you listeners can decide who that is. And if we're looking for thoughts, ideas, insights, things that you didn't know. And the way to vote is to find this episode on funkythinkers.com. Only on funkythinkers.com, not on YouTube or Spreaker or iHeartRadio or any of those other things what you might be listening to us on. Leave a comment with which team, the pink team or the orange team, Barb and Phil or Anne or Leana, and maybe why. what insight you got from it. So, and we will announce that a few days after this episode goes live. So, Barb, how can we find out more about you and contact you?
You can find me at my website, barbarabraendlein.com. If you want it spelled, you can talk to Jonathan Sr. I'm on all the social medias and whatnot, and you can listen to me on the Deciding Factor podcast.
Excellent. And Phil, how can we find out more about you?
I especially want to hear from people that may have a dodo for sale. I would be really interested in hearing from you. You can contact me at billionairesinboxers.com, or again, very unusual surname, so just check me out on Google, Phil Pelucha, and you'll find all my social media pages there.
Excellent. And Anne, how can we find out more about you?
Well, with a name like Anne Smith, you'll never find me on Google, but you can find me at antie.ca, antie.ca. That's the pet name my niece gave me. And it will take you to my Etsy shop, my YouTube page. It will connect you with my agent if you want to book me for something. And it will also take you to my professional Facebook page.
Excellent. And Leana, how can we contact you?
LeanaDelle.com. And if you Google Leana Delle, I am the only one. So
There you go.
there is that.
Ladies and gents, thank you so much for being on the show, and we will crown one of you the champion Funkst tag team in a few days. Thanks so much, and speak soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, thanks so much for making it to the end of this episode. Did you know that you can play FunKQuest yourself? We call it FQY. You can get going now with a 10% discount coupon that's displayed above my shoulder. Thanks so much, and take care.